This week's Parsha is Parsha Toldot, which is the 6th Parsha in the book of Bereshit, the book of Genesis. In this week's Parsha, we really focus on Jacob and Esau, the twin brothers, the twin sons of Isaac and Rebekah. And what's really interesting is, from the beginning of Rebekah's pregnancy, she could feel that something was different about this pregnancy, before she even knew she was having twins. And once she realized she was having twins, it sort of felt like they were constantly at conflict, pushing and pulling in different directions from the time they were in the womb. And God gives her this prophecy that she's going to be the mother of two great nations, but they cannot coexist in success. When one is successful, one will be at the bottom, and when one is at the top, the other will fall to the bottom. They can't coexist in their successes. One will always be leading the other. And she gives birth, and Esau is born first, followed by Jacob. Again, not far apart, they're twins, but Esau is still born first, and therefore he is entitled to the birthright, to the double portion. And they grow up, and Jacob becomes a really learned man. He's constantly studying and learning and growing in his intellectual matters, while Esau is growing in his hunting abilities and in his sort of the more physical activities. And so again, they're going in opposite directions already. Now, one day, Esau is returning from hunting, and he's tired and he's hungry. And sure enough, his brother Jacob is making a lentil soup. And he asks his brother for some of the soup. And Jacob's response is, "Okay, I'll give you soup if you give me your birthright." And sure enough, Esau agrees. Now, Esau just gave away his birthright for a bowl of soup. And I think there's something really valuable that we can learn about ourselves and about what we have to do in order not to just give up something important for something so trivial as a bowl of soup. Take, for example, in our own lives, if we don't understand why we're doing the things that we're doing, why we're doing specific mitzvot, why we're following certain commandments, if we don't understand them and find meaning for ourselves, then they'll be easy to throw away when something more enticing comes along. So, for example, let's take modesty. If modesty doesn't mean anything to me, if I'm just covering up because everybody else is, then when I see a really nice dress and it has a deep V and it has no sleeves and it's short, I might say, well, that's a really pretty dress, and modesty doesn't really mean that much to me, so I'm going to buy the pretty dress, and oh, it's on sale, even better. But if I say, okay, to me, modesty is about self-respect, it's about having other people respect me and value me for who I am and not just for my physical appearance. It's about saving myself and my body for the people who I choose to let see it. If I take the different elements of modesty that are important to me, then when I see that dress that's on sale that's short and beautiful but not correct for the way I want to live my life, then I can say, all right, my values and why modesty is important to me outweigh the pretty dress, and then I won't be so tempted to buy the dress. But again, it would be easy to throw it away and easy to go pick out that dress if I didn't understand why modesty mattered to me. So the same thing with Jacob and Esau. Esau didn't feel the value, the weight of this birthright in the way that Jacob did. And so when Esau traded his birthright for this bowl of soup, he was throwing it away because it didn't mean anything to him. So I encourage all of you to understand, to look at the mitzvot you're doing, look at the way you're observing your life, and to really take a deep look and understand why we do the things that we do and what personal meaning we could find within each one of these aspects of our life. Because if we don't, it'll be really easy to let them go when something more enticing comes along. So I encourage you again, all take a deep look into yourselves and try and find areas that you can connect to. And if there's something that you're doing right now that you don't connect to, try and find a way that you can connect to it. Ask questions, do research, find a way to make it meaningful to you. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a Shabbat Shalom.